let's break this down and look at some of the strengths of income property as an asset class. You know what I say? It's the most historically proven asset class in the world. Income property is the most historically proven asset class in the world. And one of the great things about it is that it's so fragmented, right? You've heard me talk on the podcast before about what? Embrace the fragmentation, right? Embrace the fragmentation. And this is something that frustrates a lot of people when it comes to income property. They don't like the fact that it's fragmented. They think, you know, why can't this be simpler? Why can't it be easier? Why does my property manager in Orlando do things differently than my property manager in Atlanta? And they do things differently than my property manager in Memphis, right? So that's one of the frustrations we constantly hear from you. It's one of the things that really bugs people. Why can't it be more standardized? Why can't it be more refined, more simple? Well, we are trying to help with that. And when Fernando speaks this weekend, he will talk about a big step that we took to that end to help you that we have never announced before. You're going to hear it here first. A big step that we took in the world of software just about a week and a half ago. Okay, so you're going to hear more about that, especially tomorrow when we go over that in detail. So that fragmentation, as I always say, it is the opportunity. The fragmentation is the thing that keeps the income property or the big institutional investors out of income property. That preserves the opportunity for us, for the regular middle class investor, okay? The fragmentation increases returns because the institutions aren't in our game. Now, how many of you have ever thought about or invested in or looked at, so that's a pretty broad category, right? Commercial property. How many of you have considered that or done it, okay? Well, fairly small number. Okay, did everybody have coffee? Are we awake? Okay. So you know, some people, they just, you ask them a question and they will not vote. They're simply, I'm abstaining. I will not raise my hand no matter what. Okay, so how many are married? How many are single? How many aren't sure? Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we got a few, I think more than any other audience I asked that question to, we got more unsure from this. So commercial property, right? If you look at these institutional commercial properties, and usually that's in the category of anything over about $4 million and above, institutional investors will accept really low, really frankly crappy returns on their investments. And the reason is they have so much capital to deploy. It's deployed in a more, quote, perfect type of market, deployed in a more perfect market in the sense that all of those investments are underwritten. There's a word for you, they're underwritten. So when one of these big commercial real estate investment firms looks at a deal, maybe it's a big apartment complex or a big mobile home park or a big self-storage facility or office building or whatever, they, quote, underwrite the deal, okay? And that means they do some due diligence on it and they kind of investigate it, and they have this common language and this common format for discussing the deals. And the best investment group for this type of thing, of underwriting and having a common language, who would that be? Better than commercial real estate, the best group of people out there. It would be Wall Street. They're the best at having a common language and an understanding of how things work. In fact, companies on Wall Street have a certain standard, a common standard, not that they follow it or anything, for accounting. What do they call that? They call it GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP, right? And so the more refined and the more perfected and the more standardization there is in any investment, the lower the returns on that investment. And the more fragmented and the more imperfect And the more unstandardized, the higher the returns. Would you agree with me on that?